and we are live. See, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, wherever in the world you are in, see, yeah, it doesn't matter whether you're coming, and watching us from Facebook. Doesn't matter if you're from Twitter. Doesn't matter if you are from YouTube. Just know that you're going to have a very, very lovely time. A very, very lovely 1 hour with me and this brother down here. Yeah. See,
Man.
today is an Arsenal therapy. Yeah, not because we lost, yeah, but because of something else. Oregon Guna will take us through a journey through that, yeah, about the Not London Derby, the substitutions. We have
Mm.
Brentford loading, we have Learned loading, injuries loading. See, it's all going to be talked about today, yeah. No hold bars today. It's going to be real talk all over again today. See, I got no other person, yeah. No other person who does it like he does it, yeah, guys. You guys don't tell me that you don't know this guy's the guy. He's the man, man. He's the man. See, no other person than DVS himself, Dahl himself, infamous Dahl himself. He had so many names, yeah. Oregon Guna.
What's up, buddy? Poop, poop. Let's get it. Thank you
It's
so much for
scary,
that
bro.
nice introduction, bro. Thank you, thank you. It's a pleasure to be on the show again. Episode 7. We're doing the
Mm,
thing. We're making it work. I was on this morning with my brother and brother from another mother, old school gunner in the chat. Big up,
old
man. Big up.
school
Thanks for having
Gunners
me.
in the chat. That's a great guy. See,
Yeah,
Oregon. Ooh, a big week just entered, man. That's already that's an old school gunner. That is a very, very, very true gunner. Yeah,
yeah.
he loves Arsenal Football Club. He runs a channel called Old School Gunner. Guys, go down there and subscribe to that guy. Yeah,
Yep.
great guy. Loves Arsenal Football Club. Yeah, you were saying something,
For
down, my
sure.
guy.
I would say I was with our boy school gunner this morning. We talked a lot of this stuff. I raised my voice and it was definitely heard between him and
Saw
shout
that
out to Jay as
cameo. I
well.
saw that cameo.
You know,
Saw that
I,
cameo.
I'm furious, bro. I'm furious, and I don't know how much monetization you may get today because I'm probably gonna drop a couple f bombs,
Couple of F
but
bombs around.
I'm fuming, bro. Even after who's that? I'll call you later. Even after oh shit, damn phone. Even after the show with Old School Gunner, I was kind of thinking about the show with him and getting ready for you and doing some work stuff at
Mm,
the same time. And bro, it just made my temperature, my blood pressure just go up even more.
just go up
The more
more.
you
Totally
think about it and
understandable.
soak in what we saw yesterday, and soak in the comments that Old
The
School had,
comments
his
and
buddy Brad,
everything.
and what we had talked about, and what we're going to
Mm,
dive into today. I am not
definitely.
happy. I'm literally about. Yeah, I'm on the
Uh,
edge of Arteta, bro. I'm on the
uh,
edge. He's putting me on the
uh,
edge, man. He's putting me on that cliff, and he's waiting to push me over. People are
you know what? Yeah,
waiting to
I'm
push me
going to
over.
see. You know what? That's what we do on this show. We try to empty the clips. I know you got, I know you got bazookas ready for me,
Oh,
AK-47. I even heard you got the grenades today. But you know what? Yeah, today will be the training day. These guys are gonna listen to us today. See, Andrew Bell is in the house. That's a true
yeah.
Geordie, yeah, Newcastle fan, but a great brother and a great friend of mine. He
Big
says,
weekend.
have
Yeah.
a good show, bro. Head today is also down here. Yeah, head today. Great guy is always down here. Old school gunner is here, of course. See, take us through what happened in that matchup. Oregon Gunner, Arsenal therapy. Please empty
Here's
those
what
clips
happened.
right now. What happened? What
I'll,
happened?
I'm gonna lay
A
on the
goal
couch.
up,
You
went
take
back
notes,
down
my friend.
to a Sun goal, a goal up again after again, a
Yep.
penalty by
Yep.
Bukayo Saka, and then
Yep.
Jorginho just comes up and spoils the whole thing, gives the ball away in the middle of the park and allowing Son to just take control of that ball. What, what is going on? What happened in that matchup yesterday? Oregon Guna. Empty those clips, my brother.
The
Empty those clips.
first things first, my friend. Eddie Nketiah got off the bus and played 100
Oh,
minutes. Eddie Nketiah played the whole game, bro. And like I was saying to Old School, I'm going to refer back, to my little bit to the video that I did earlier. He ran and stopped, ran and stopped, ran and stopped. Anybody can run into the 6 yard box, the 18-yard box, and stand there.
Mm,
Anybody can do that. I want
yeah,
100 grand a week because I'll put the number 14 on and run straight and stand there and
exactly.
wait and look around
And look
and sort
around.
of move a little bit. But you know what, Tony? They give me the 14 and 100 grand a week. I'm going to run straight and run a slant to the left to have Jesus come out. I'm going to run the slant to the right. Have Saka come out and take up the middle.
Exactly.
It's not fucking rocket science, bro.
It's simple.
Move.
Simple.
You have to move your body. You cannot stay stagnant as a striker. Ruud van Nistelrooy could do it, but he was a poacher.
He was a poacher too.
Robert Van
And
Persie can stand there. He's a poacher. Eddie
he's a
Nketiah is
poacher
not a
too. He
poacher.
could open up his body. Eddie
Bro,
Nketiah. Oh my God.
it's
Eddie Nketiah
basic
just stood
shit.
there. You know
It's
what? Yeah,
basic
it's good.
shit.
It's good you started off with this topic about Eddie Nketiah. Yeah, there was see Ed Nketiah was just moving around like a headless chicken. Yeah, he
Yes.
couldn't open up his body. He couldn't make those deep runs. I know you're a goal poacher, but goal poachers, yeah, historical goal poachers in this league. Let me even start from the ones that people
Mm.
know: Van Nistelrooy, like we've talked about, Andy Cole, yeah, Dwight York. These guys are goal poachers. Yeah,
Yeah, they can
let's
sit in there.
let's even talk about Arsenal legends. Let's talk about other legends.
Sure.
Yeah, all these guys are goal poachers, but they open up their body. They sense danger. They open up
Yes.
their sides. They drop that shoulder. They have this foresight on what's going to happen and what's happening around them. But you know what? Yeah, Eddie Nketiah lacks awareness
He's
about
too
what's going on
reactionary.
around him, and it's too static for me.
Mhm.
What do you think?
It's yes, no, you hit it right. You hit the nail right on the head. He's too static. You have to be mobile in there. I mean, this isn't the early 2000s, the late 90s football. This is a whole new
Mm,
era of speed, pace, power, intuition. If you see
exactly.
Jesus on the with the ball, you got to move to help him. He's not there to help you, Eddie. He is not
Mm,
there to help you. You have to help them when you do not have the
exactly.
ball. Standing on the fucking penalty dot on the spot, looking around, waiting, waiting for the ball. Putting your hands
Waiting
down.
for the
You're
ball.
not
Waiting for
open.
the ball.
Waiting for the ball, bro. Like you have to fight, and the only fight he showed was a fucking slide tackle on the keeper.
It pissed me off
Well,
yesterday.
yeah, that
It
just
pissed me
infuriated
off.
me even more because it's such a slap in the face to him. The keeper's been working his ass off. We challenged him a few times, but how dare Eddie try and bring the attention to himself, make a stupid play, for what? And then they went and
And
scored.
and you know what? Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, we were so
Unbelievable.
lucky. Many Arsenal fans don't know how lucky we were yesterday to escape with the
Yes.
draw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still on this Eddie Nketiah issue. Did you see that tackle he made against Vicario yesterday?
Yes. He could have broken of his leg if he was a couple inches to the left or right.
It would have bent that guy's leg, broken it, gotten a red card for Arsenal at the end
Yep.
of the day. We'll be
Yep.
playing with 10 men with a strong son with Papa Sarr looking like prime Kaka in the middle of
Yeah.
the park.
I didn't think Papa Sarr played that good of a game, bro. I thought, he was kind of pocketed at times and lost the ball. But, the thing is, Eddie, bro, he can't move. He can't shoot. He can't tackle. What the fuck is he doing here? Why are we all see it and no, and Arteta doesn't? What is he doing in training that's just so incredible and so spectacular that he gets a call up just about every week, Tony? What is
It's, uh,
going on?
it's
Does he
shocking.
have some contract with some sort of football devil,
But
we don't know about? Like, what the fuck? I mean, it if
I'm
we all
beginning to
see it,
think that I'm
he's
beginning to
watching
think that
something
Eddie
else. He's
Nketiah.
watching something that we're not seeing, bro.
I'm beginning to think that Eddie Nketiah has some clause in his contract
He's
to
got
always
to.
play. I think so, because is there something that 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 why are we seeing all these things? Why are we seeing all these dark sides of Eddie Nketiah, and the manager isn't spotting it? Yeah, and the crescendo yesterday,
Yeah.
the reality of yesterday is that now, yeah, we would have gotten a red card yesterday. Arsenal
Yes.
would have gotten a red card yesterday. That tackle on Vicario, such an
That was disgusting.
atrocious one. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't know where he came with that tackle. Lack of discipline. Total, like he
Right.
wasn't aware of what was really going on around him.
I I think that tackle to go back to our therapy session, was
mm,
accumulation of his frustration at
mm,
not performing, his frustration of really being in and out of the team. So there's,
yeah.
his frustration technically, his
Mm,
frustration at it being, a big match. And number five, he's still a young kid. He doesn't have that mentality just yet. But at the same time, all of those 5 points do not add up for a striker at top Arsenal Football Club, one of the biggest clubs in the world. And we have a striker is he championship division? Is he even
See the
championship
the
division?
fact that now the
Is he
fact
League
there is that
One?
Eddie Nketiah cannot guarantee us 20 to 25 goals in a season. That's
Never.
the bad news about the whole thing.
Right,
If we're taking a chance at a guy who is going to give us, let's say, 18 goals in a season, I will take this chance. I will take the chance on him, knowing that he's going to deliver that amount of goals this season. But
right,
deep down, me and you, we both know that this guy isn't going to churn out those goals that we want to elevate us in this league this season. We're already 4 points away
right,
from a title shot with Man City, who is high
right,
flying, who hasn't
right,
lost any game in 5 games in the league this season. They look strong. And see, yeah, and they have notable players who are out of that team.
right.
That team is cooking right now without a Kevin De Bruyne. Even
They're gonna be cooking them. I know.
I'm serious, man. I'm serious. Even Grealish hasn't even gotten up to speed this season,
Yeah,
and you can see how the team is playing. They're galvanized. The
because they
strikers are
moved.
scoring. Alvarez is scoring.
Yeah,
Holland is scoring. Everybody's hand is on deck.
yeah,
And
yep,
if let's say a Haaland gets injured right now, Alvarez is ready to put in those goals and hand them to
yep,
see that guy can literally hand Manchester City 20 to 25 goals in a
yep.
season. Do you believe
Absolutely.
that? Yes or no?
Yes, yes, they're playing. It looks like a 4-2-3-1, but they're playing a 4-4-1-1 with Alvarez right behind Holland. Let's not get it confused. They're playing with two
Mm,
strikers, and they have
mm.
enough on the bench. They put Jack Grealish on the bench yesterday or
Oh
Saturday.
my God.
Jack Grealish
I,
didn't even start, and he's in
he did,
form. I mean, it's
and
just,
exactly, it was on
yeah,
bench and it was a luxury. It was a
yeah,
luxury. Even with
and,
one man down,
mm,
Nottingham Forest were totally neutralized. They couldn't even get
yeah,
in
yeah,
the game at all. You could see how Manchester City controlled that game. With Arsenal, I don't know if Eddie got a red card on the day.
mm.
I'm sorry, we would have been in a very, very big problem. Because
Oh,
I
right,
think we would have capitulated and just
right, yeah, I think so
give them a
too.
goal at
If
the
he
end of
would
the
have,
day.
yeah, yeah, he gave them that goal because it was off that free kick that they got up the pitch.
Mm,
If I remember correctly, right? Didn't they get a goal off that, or they got a shot on goal? I think after that, I'll have to go back
yeah.
and watch some of the game. But after that foul, again, it's time, bro. It's just he's got to go. If he would have gotten a red card, he would have not only, of course, gotten himself the ban, but he would have
Mm,
put the whole club in the squad at that moment in time in real jeopardy. And then
exactly.
in even further jeopardy of the 3 games because you know what? He's still a body. And with the
Mm,
injuries we're mounting up, we need bodies right now. And again,
yeah.
it goes back to not doing the business in January of last season.
Exactly.
Last
That's the
season,
problem we're facing now.
there and
But
we
you
had to
know what? Yeah, the transfer
do it.
market is a different ball game entirely.
Right, right.
Gabriel Jesus. Let's get into the next player who's going to take this chop today. Gabriel Jesus. What was he doing? That chance he got. That was a
Just
chance. That was a
right.
chance. That
Yeah,
was a chance to
it
slot in
was
that
a chance.
ball.
Yeah, yeah, it
What
was.
was he thinking?
He missed it, Tony. And strikers are going to miss. They're not going to hit every time. But you know what?
Mm,
Eddie and Kenny wasn't doing that, right? Where was Eddie and Kenny during that whole phase of play? Watching,
yeah,
right?
watching.
Jesus was in the middle taking the ball where Eddie and Kedia should have been because Jesus was on the left,
Mm,
but he was right there on the
yeah,
pitch to net,
mm,
snick it right off of Madsen. So
yeah.
again, Jesus doing the job of two players. He was playing left wing and center forward because Eddie and Kedia had his thumb up his ass for the whole 100 minutes that he was up there.
And he also had to link up play. He also had to link up play.
Yeah,
There were times he had to go deep into the midfield to actually
he
try
did.
to give us a fighting chance in the midfield because they were kind of doubling up on our midfielders.
Yep,
Even on Bukayo Saka was kind of like doubled up on. He hardly found a chance apart from that penalty and that.
right.
You know. that goal that ricocheted towards Romero and
Hmm.
got into the net. Apart from that, Bukayo was doubled up on on the day, and
Yeah,
Gabriel Jesus had to do lots of link up play, go get the ball and try to get things happening. But Eddie Nketiah was just static, no
yeah.
runs made,
He was
no,
watching everybody, bro. And the
and
Jesus, we
yeah,
go back to Jesus for a minute, Tony, is like how we talked about him at City, how he
mm,
only got maybe 12 or 13 goals a season. But then they had
mm,
other players, we know scoring around them. Obviously, Kevin De Bruyne, 14, 15 goals,
mm,
Mahrez, etc. So what that does, though, is what we want Gabriel Jesus to do what he did at City, is to be able to bring wingers and attacking mids into the mix to get
into
goals, right?
play, yeah, to get goals.
He's still not that striker we need, but
Mm.
he has to be able to operate in the middle. I mean, that's
Yeah,
why he was on the left wing. Maybe it was like possibly like you said, maybe it was to cover that right side defensively
yeah,
because he knew Vieira probably was going to struggle because Vieira needed to pull inside middle. I mean, we can analyze this all day. The fact of the matter is the lineup was wrong from the get go.
yeah.
Having an Petty up there was a problem. On the left side, he could have played Emerald Smith Rowe as the left winger or the left mid, switch that up with Vieira, and put Jesus in the middle. Why he didn't do
Exactly,
that, I don't know. I really
exactly,
don't know. And
exactly.
Jesus had to me, I think he got an 8.5 because of the work ethic and the hustle. If he would have scored that goal, I would have given him a 10
Oh, we'll,
because
we'll, we'll we'll come to the scoring. We'll come to
he
the
did the
scoring
work
towards
of
the end of
two
the show.
positions. He did the work of a winger, of three,
Arsenal
like you said,
therapy.
a winger, a left mid, and a striker. But
Mm.
Gabriel Jesus, again, is not like here to there says, Eddie, hopefully you get 10. Jesus ain't going to get us 20 25.
He's
So
not. He's not. He's not. He's not.
it's a
He's
mix
not.
of
There were
just, it's a
reports.
bad
There were
mixture.
reports today. See, Dahlia. There were reports today that Arsenal have, gone back to Brentford
Mm,
to have that talk about Tony. But
sure.
again, it's still exploration, exploration, exploration. We'll talk about that later on in the show. Arsenal therapy. Zinchenko.
Uh,
Zinchenko. My brother. Zinchenko was being ran ragged, yeah, in that left back position.
right.
I didn't see this guy create opportunities. I didn't see a decent. I didn't see those decent dashing runs invertedly. Why
Hmm.
is in the team, right? That's why this guy's in the team.
Right.
Those inverted dashing runs. Where were those runs yesterday? Accurate runs yesterday. Where was the help down the middle? Where was the cover down there to help our defense when Tottenham Hotspurs broke through our midfield, uh, uh, gobbled up the ball away from Jorginho, and had a straight entry
Yeah.
into the heart of our defense, and slotting that ball into a helpless David Raya goal. Say Arsenal
Mm.
therapy, DVS, Zinchenko. What do you think about his performance yesterday?
I'm going to give him a 5. He was pretty
Oh,
average and disappeared. Maybe a
oof.
4.5, a 4. He did a few nice things. I think it took him a while to wake up, but once he
Mm,
got going, I thought he was okay. So maybe a
mm.
5 is fair enough. But I don't know, man. With Zinchenko, with Zinchenko moving up the pitch and Vieira or Havertz on the left, we're leaving a wide gap on our left side, for them to exploit. And Kulishevsky did a pretty good job at that. He read
He
Zinchenko
exploited him
over and
throughout the
over,
game. He ran him
and
ragged throughout
he
the
did.
game. Gunnar
And
forever, big ups to you. Gunnar forever,
yeah,
big ups to you. He says Tony and DVS, big ups to you, Gunnar forever. True Arsenal fan, that is. Luke James is also in the house. Pooh,
yeah, Blue.
for Luke James. That's a
Yeah.
real one. Luke James is a real one. Here today is a real one. He's down here with us, yeah. Big ups to you guys. Captain saved, says Sakateta. Big ups to you.
I'm
Big
on
ups
the
to your
verge,
captain
man.
save, man. Big ups to you.
If I'm on the cliff, you could push me over with a finger to Arteta's gone, because this is the stuff that pisses us off, Tony, as fans. As true Gooners, we see this shit and we see right through it because
Mm,
we know that we look at the lineup and we go, okay, that's crap. That's crap. We can look at the lineup and say that's crap, and we're not going to get a result today. And we know
yeah.
that. And we know that as fans, we can see that. The issue is that Arteta is trying to turn these turds into gems. Just stop. Stop. None of that has happened with Pep Guardiola. I don't think there's really one player that he's taken was average and trying to turn into the next gem, right? Or
At
we're trying to
all.
make Thierry
At all.
Henry.
Just do the basics.
Let
Do
him
the
play.
basics.
And when you put Eddie and Kedia out there, it's basically you're playing with freaking 10 and 9 outfield players because he's a passenger
Exactly.
throughout the whole thing. He
Oh
did
my
nothing
God.
yesterday. He got $1,000 a minute for he was out there.
Mm,
He
mm,
got
mm.
$1,000 a minute while he was out there yesterday. So just
Just
put that in
shocking.
perspective as well, and produce nothing. It's just I'm just tired of being the same
Big ups to
story.
CMO. Big ups to CMO. CMO
Yeah,
is your
yeah,
that's your crony, man. That's your
yeah, it
crony.
is. That's my guy for sure. I just
Connor is my guy too. Big ups to
he's
Connor,
a
man.
real one,
Connor, you're respected down here.
very
Your
much.
takes respected down here. You're a legend in my eyes, Connor. Big ups to you, Connor, man. Big ups to you. Obviously, I'll be having you on the Henchman show probably maybe tomorrow because the other henchman is coming back tomorrow.
That's gonna be
Yeah, the
that's gonna be
Southern Gunner
fire.
is
Yeah.
coming back tomorrow. So, guys, you better get ready for that one because I'm going to invite Kerner. If Connor is gonna, have that invitation blessed up, he's going to show up tomorrow. See, Oregon Guna. Another person who's gonna take in this Arsenal therapy from you today, Martin Odegaard. Yeah,
Mm,
I'm not saying he had a bad display, but he fizzled
wasn't
out of
great.
that game. It wasn't great.
Yeah.
He didn't open up. He didn't open up the Tottenham defense the way that I like. He didn't throw those
Man,
passes.
I don't
It's
like either,
true.
Tony.
It's
Oh, I know.
true, and and you know what? Yeah, it's becoming concerning. Do you know why it's becoming concerning? I will let you know, Oregon Guna. A week ago, not
Mm-hmm.
even a week ago, about 5 days ago, before the
Yep.
matchup against Tottenham Hotspurs, our captain of this football club signed a new
Mm-hmm.
5-year deal with Arsenal Football Club that is going to keep him down here until 2028. Now, that's our captain of our football club, yeah? Good. Now, if you're the captain that's just been blessed with a new 5-year deal, fate has been placed upon you.
Mm.
You're being called up to play time and time and time again. You had a good display against PSV, but
Right.
PSV is a different cut altogether. This is the
Completely.
Premiership we're talking about. You
Yep.
should be coordinating your
Yep.
troops. You should be talking to people. You
Yep.
should be raising your voice when people like Eddie Nketiah isn't making those runs. You need to do these things. You need to be that vocal guy
Yep.
in that on that pitch. And you know what? Yeah, I'm sorry to say this, Oregon, in front of you. I miss Granit Xhaka. I miss Granit Xhaka. Yeah, there is no way Granit Xhaka would not make one or two, gesticulations around here and there and make some sign movements and back out orders, at least to those
Right.
knuckleheads who are down there in the midfield, down there for us. Yeah. And I'm sorry, Martin Odegaard fizzled out from that game, at least after the first 15 minutes. Went completely out, completely missing in that game. And this is not the first time he's done it. In big games this season and last season, maybe you've not had big games this season, but in games that he should have been more incisive, this guy has disappeared. Is it concerning to you that the captain of your football club signed a new deal this week and can't even show up in the North London Derby, the biggest matchup, one of the biggest
Right.
matchup we have in a season for Arsenal Football Club? What do you think? Moroccan Guna, take it off.
It's extremely concerning. He's not loud enough. He doesn't really command the midfield. He can pass the ball well. He can pass the ball really well. He's got the tricks up his sleeve, but he needs space, bro. He needs 3, 2, 4 yards in front of him, couple yards in front of him, where he can execute that stuff. Right? He can execute the nice pass. He can do a little bit of trickery and
Mm,
find maybe a nice have volley long ball in the box or whatever.
yeah,
He needs space to do what he can do. So when you play
yeah,
against tougher teams like Spurs and United, etc., those guys are going to man mark him out of the game, and that's exactly what
true.
happened. And I think he was a little better in 15 minutes. I want to give him maybe a half hour, But yeah, the second half, I mean, I think our guy here in the chat, Gunnar Forever, says it all. 18 passes. 18 passes as a central attacking mid. I mean, when I
That's
play
shameful.
FIFA, my center mid
It's
has way more
shameful.
touches than
It's
passes.
shameful. It's shameful.
It's
It's
shameful.
shameful.
And
It's
you're right.
shameful.
It goes down
It's
to
shameful.
strength, courage, and voice and projecting and telling players where they need to be at certain times. Granit Xhaka had no problem telling another player what to do and where to go. You know, Granit Xhaka
Exactly.
is not the best football player we've ever had, obviously. We saw 7
True.
years of that. But his final season, he gave his all. And I'll always
Mm,
be grateful for that, for at least
yeah.
getting us to that second place, to getting us to 93%, on top. I will
Mm,
tip my hat off for Granit Xhaka for that.
mm,
But that's the role Havertz has. But
mm,
Havertz, is light years away from the determination that Granit Xhaka showed, the
mm,
effort that Granit Xhaka put in, the football IQ that Granit Xhaka somewhat has,
mm.
strength and power that Granit Xhaka showed, just out on the pitch, just yelling and doing what he did. You know, those attributes need to be in Kai Havertz, and it's not there. And I know we've drifted from Odegaard, but Odegaard
Mm.
is going to do what he can do. But I think the biggest thing that's missing from him is vocal power and real
It's
power,
vocal power.
telling these
He's not
guys
vocal.
what
He's
to
not
do
vocal
and
in
to
the
get their
middle of
shit
the
together.
park. He
Rice is way
wasn't.
more vocal, and I know we're going to get to Rice too because that was a critical part of yesterday's game.
Mm,
So with regards to Odegaard, he needs space, bro. I
mm,
mean,
mm.
the kid's what, 5'6". I'm not much of a football player, but if I push up on Odegaard, he ain't going around me, bro, because I'm going to knock him down. You know,
Oregon Gunner.
it's
Oregon
just
Gunner.
it needs to be
Oregon
better.
Gunner. Let me make it even more. Let me even make it more tastier because you
Mhm.
always like the sauce. Because the Oregon Gunner likes to cook, so
I
he
sure
likes
do.
the sauce all over it. So I'm
I'm
gonna
really
give
good
you
at
the
cereal.
sauce. I'm gonna give you the sauce, man. See, this is it. Yeah, Arsenal after the first half. Yeah,
Mm,
Tottenham Hotspurs had a ball possession. Yeah, of
they
60%
did.
of
They
the
did.
ball possession to Arsenal 40% of the ball possession. Do you
And
know the
this,
ball possession at the end of the game yesterday? 53 to Tottenham Hotspurs,
uh,
47 to Arsenal in a home game in a
yeah,
not London derby. Let me even shock you. This is even the most
it's
shocking part of
shocking.
everything. The most shocking part is that they had goal attempts, yeah, 13 to Arsenal 13 at the end of the
Mm,
day. Can you believe that? At par in a home game in a not London derby. Where is the fight? Where are the players in the middle of the park who would make that place very gritty? Yeah? Who would make that place strong, steely? See, yeah, whether we like it or not, Papa Sarr never had a good game. Besoma too struggled also in that game too.
right,
But see, you have to accept it, yeah, and you have to agree with me. There
right.
were times in our midfield we look like total gateways,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
There's a gateway state in the United States of America. What's that state? The gateway state.
The Gateway State. Oh
The
man,
gateway state.
you're putting me on, giving me the world of U.S. history here. The Gateway State is probably somewhere on the East Coast for entry for immigrants, right? Maybe. So I don't know, New
I
York
don't
or
know. There's a state they call the
Arizona.
gateway state.
Okay,
Arsenal's midfield on the day yesterday was the gateway state. We
mm,
allowed this guy the freedom in the middle of the park
we did.
to just move the ball around, move it around, knock it about, send it to Kulusevski, who had a gaping open left back position to just run straight right into and exploit
Sure.
because Zini is the guy who is down there who doesn't know how to defend. So,
Right.
with all the stats, yeah, with all the shocking stats out here, even Tottenham Hotspurs had shot 8 shots off goal in that matchup, while Arsenal had
Mm-hmm.
only just seven. Can you believe that?
Mm,
Yesterday, just seven. Yeah, that's how bad that game is for Arsenal
right.
Football Club on the day. So, yeah, when you look at that midfield, what should have been done better in the middle of the park because it didn't look great. There was no grit
Yeah.
in that midfield. It didn't look steely. down there. Yeah, they were just
True.
making a public show of us in the middle of the park. What do you think?
Well, I think the first half we dominated, like I said, about 35 minutes of that game. So the first half, it wasn't pretty, but it was okay. Now
Mm.
you were speaking specifically about the second half when of course Declan Rice went off with a calf strain or thigh, I think thigh or calf strain. Um, I don't expect him to be out long. I don't. I think Arteta said it maybe a week. I don't know.
We'll come to the injuries. That's
Okay.
actually the next
So
topic.
once our Steele, who's Declan Rice, is gone, there is no Steele. You're right. The Gateway, Missouri State of Missouri. Thank you for that.
State of Missouri.
So, or here to there. Thank you. So
Yeah.
yeah. Basuma and Sar they had the center of the park easily for that second half. What's Odegaard going to do? I mean, like that's the point. What's he really going to do when the ball is lost in transition and he gets back? Is he the one knocking players down and fighting? Some of the time, but it really kind of depends on the opposition now. Like you said before, he shows up in PSV when he has acres of space to do what he needs to do. But when you man mark him, he's completely incapable and impotent
And
of
clueless. And
and
clueless.
clueless, right?
See,
Like,
man. See, let's not
tricks only
mince
work
words. It
go
was
so
clueless.
far.
It was clueless.
And we
It was
have no
clueless.
steal because we don't have Party. We didn't have so the second half, the steal was out with Rice injured, Party's injured. I mean, do you put El Neni in? I mean, that's the
I
position
would have
Arteta's
put El
founded
Neni.
himself
El
in.
Neni has a better record in
Right,
not
and
London derbies than
Jorginho
any of
is
these guys.
right, and
The
Jorginho is
knucklehead
weak
Kai
too.
Havertz running like a headless chicken. Actually,
Yep.
that's our next topic. Yeah. See, Mikel Arteta and the substitution gaff. Please,
Mm,
I just want you to tell me, yeah. See, guys in the chat, you all know me. You all know me, yeah. If the team does well, I'm that guy that would defy every other person and say, hey, you know what? Let's tear out this team. Let's be happy. Let's be merry. Let's dance. Let's drink. Let's dance. Let's be
right.
happy. Yeah. You guys know me. I'm that kind of guy. Yeah.
This was supposed to be a
But
fun
when it
show.
comes, exactly, man. But when it comes to the type of showing we had yesterday, they
Yeah.
will get it. They will get the heat. And that's what me and Oregon Gunnar are attempting an arsenal therapy on these guys today. See, look, Oregon Gunnar, Mikel Arteta, what was he thinking?
I don't know.
Gabriel Jesus, who was our most potent striker
Switch them off.
out there,
Yep.
hold off the game. Yesterday, I was in tears in my watch along. Scott Kirk was down there with me. Here today was down there. These are big, big guys, yeah. Big up to you guys who came to for the watch along with me and stuck down there with me. Here today was
I
down
hung
with
out
me
with you
there.
for a little
The
bit too.
assembled was there with me. Oregon Guna was there with me. Scott Kirk was there with me. See, Oregon Guna.
Yeah.
What is Mikala? What was this guy thinking? Good. He made that gaff with that change with Gabriel Jesus.
Mm,
Let's say we understood that
right.
change. Let
Right.
let's make an excuse for him. Yeah,
Right.
let's make an excuse for this guy
Right.
that we understood that change. Good. And then this guy goes in and brings in Kai Havertz, the clueless chicken, to come in the middle of the park, not even as a striker, when we have someone who made a cameo in just 5 minutes that was even more better than Kai Havertz the whole goddamn season.
Yeah.
Emmy Smith Rowe in 5 minutes made Kai Havertz cameo all season look like chicken drenched in goat blood. That was how this guy looked like on that pitch on the day. Shocking. What do you have to say about that double change? And I call it a gaff
Um,
from the manager. He cost us that game yesterday also. He takes
yeah.
he is responsible for losing the point in that game. Oregon Guna, what do you have to tell us, man?
I say the subs were just so stupid. It's again, it's just common sense stuff. Like how Eddie stayed on. Why didn't you just put ESR in the left wing and put Jesus in the middle and take Eddie off? Because it wasn't happening. I mean, that's the thing. Is he just so in love with this kid that he just wants him to get a goal so bad? Do you really want him to score so bad, Arteta? He's willing to risk his career at Arsenal for Eddie and
For this
Nketiah,
guy,
bro. That's the
for this
thing.
guy.
He's risking his managerial career at Arsenal making
For
these
this
decisions.
guy.
But that's the problem, Tony, is that we get cooking because Arteta is invincible because of the ownership, right? He's not going anywhere. We can say Arteta out, bro, till we're blue in the face. He's not going anywhere until there's a real problem. Yesterday was a real problem. But at the same time, it's only our seventh game of the season, right? There's always something that you say, oh, all this, oh, Arteta this, Arteta that, but there's always this point, right? That keeps him hanging on. And that's what I mean. I'm at the cliff, bro. And I wasn't at the cliff last season too much. And wasn't at the cliff. I wasn't at the cliff at the beginning of the season because our preseason
Yeah.
looked a hell of a lot better than what we're playing now.
Yeah.
And we beat City, and we beat Barcelona, and we lost United. Anyway, we beat Barcelona, and we beat City for the Community Shield. Wasn't the best game, penalties, etc. The fact of the matter is that City game, we had more fight than we showed yesterday. That Barcelona game in preseason, we showed more fight than we showed yesterday. So this lands
Actually, we
squarely on
showed
our
more fight.
back.
Actually, we showed more fight beating FC Barcelona in the preseason game
Yes,
than we've done all season.
yes,
See,
all season. There you go.
Oregon Gunner, we have not put up a befitting performance this season. How about that?
I mean,
Arsenal's performance this
PSG was
season
good,
has not been good enough. We
right?
have to see. We have to call it what it is. Our
Mhm.
performances. See, we've been grinding out results this season. I really do understand that. There's nothing. See, yeah, there's nothing like winning dirty. Yeah, going
Right.
to all these places, home and away, grinding out points. Yeah, but again,
We're
sometimes you just have
relying
to
on
make
that.
games. You just have to make games look easy. Sometimes,
Right,
right?
right.
You have
And
to make
that,
games
so,
look easy.
and you've
It's not every time that you have to win games in an ugly way, right?
right.
Sometimes you have to put your money where your mouth is and win the games the easy way. Because see, yeah, the way we're allowing these games to go, yeah,
Mhm.
we risk putting our players in danger. And that is why, in our next topic coming up, injuries are piling up. And that's
Yeah,
why these injuries are piling up because we wait till the dregs of the game to actually step back
right.
up in order to,
Very true.
come back into that game.
Right.
And we have lots of games to play already. Champions League already this week we're going to be facing Brentford, and trust me, that's not going to be an easy matchup.
No, they're
Yeah,
going to be up
it's not
for it.
going to be an easy one.
Want to win a
So
cup? Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
So my,
But
my, my
again,
thing, like
yeah,
you said before, sorry to interrupt. Before I lose my thought, is that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's just one of those things where you can if Arteta if Arteta just what I can't get to is how he doesn't see the problems, right? We see the injuries mounting up, but he doesn't see the problems, I think, that are within the squad. And
Mm,
going back to what you're saying about getting goals late, you're absolutely 100% correct because they're given the effort from minute zero. And then at
mm.
minute 87, oh shit, we better decide to turn it on, right? By that time, you're spent. You're spent, right? So it's already the way we've been playing ever since the beginning of the season. We've been leaving it late. We left it late at
We've been,
Forest. We
of
left it late at
course,
Fulham, and that's going to come back to haunt us because leaving it late, it's starting to look like that's his plan, Tony. That maybe that's our plan B. Maybe
yeah,
that's
maybe that's our
that,
plan B.
we'll just push, and play like we should have for the most of the match, the
Mm,
last 5 or 10 minutes of the game, and that's what we really saw. Right?
mm.
Was hopeful. And again, our Matt Southern Gooder shout out the hope strategy that Reese Nelson scores a Bournemouth goal.
Hope
The hope
strategy.
strategy that ASR is going to go in there and do something miraculous to get us that fucking awesome win at the end and that great feeling. We've got to stop relying on these last minute, surges. Where's the surge in the 48th minute? Where was the surge in the 62nd
In
minute?
the 50
Right?
something minute,
Where right?
53rd,
Why are we
54th,
focusing so much
60th
at
minute.
the end? It's going to, and I'm glad you spoke on that because that's part of our I think Mikel's strategy and way of managing. And like Matt the
Mm,
Southern Gooder said, it's based on hope. You're
mm,
hoping Reece Nelson scores the winning goal. You're hoping, and I know that's kind of general. Like we all hope, like yeah, of course we're gonna win, or hope this
yeah,
guy scores.
yeah,
But Arteta is using that almost as a managerial strategy in some ways, as a psychological strategy for him to feel good about his decisions. You know what I mean? If if,
yeah,
if it's 2-2 and I made bad decisions, oh, Reece Nelson, go in there and get a goal. Reece, just go get a goal because it's 89th minute. Just go and do it, right?
mm,
That's putting a lot of pressure on someone to
exactly.
Errol Smith Rowe in 10 minutes to go, putting Reece Nelson in with 8, 9 minutes to go, and expecting them to pull Bournemouth miracles. And
Mm,
that's the shit, Tony, that he has to get out of his head because that is a managerial decision that he's making. He's looking at the clock, he's looking at the game, he's looking at his subs. He's like, I need a wonder goal. Reece Nelson, get the
Chris
fuck
Nelson.
out, bro.
And that's the truth. He hits the nail. Oregon Guna is cooking.
Cooking, bro. I told you.
It's
I mean,
cooking.
get out of the
It's
kitchen,
cooking,
man. I'm
guys.
so upset from yesterday. I
Cooking.
was disheartened and
See,
sad, but now I'm just angry.
Oregon Guna. See, we're going to injuries, yeah? The injury pileup, see, it's becoming a bigger problem. Thomas Partey, injured.
Mm,
Bukayo Saka, still, of course, it's here and there.
that's not
Rice, injured. Who else in that team? You know,
Martinelli.
Martinelli, injured.
Trossard.
Trossard, injured. See, there are two questions I want to ask you in this. Yeah,
Sure.
is there a valid excuse? Can Arsenal fans make that excuse or have that excuse for yesterday that we did not perform because we didn't have certain players in our team? We did not
No.
perform. We did not win the North London Derby because clearly we had up to five team members that were struggling
Right.
with injuries. Why I put that struggling because Declan Rice, of course, injured in that game too.
In the game, right.
Trossard also and Martinelli also too. But
Sure.
I'm talking of long term injuries to Timber and all these other guys who just came in the season too. Also, it's piling up.
It
Do you
is.
think we have that excuse for yesterday? And
No.
again, what do you think? What's the problem? Why are all these injuries piling up for Arsenal Football Club at this time that we need them? We need these players. We
Yes. We need
need them.
everybody.
Mm,
Well,
take
Tony,
off.
I don't. I'm not a medical expert. I'm not a doctor. I only
Mm,
pretend to play one on TV. I'm just
mm.
kidding. I'm not a
That's a
doctor, man.
funny
I
one.
don't know. I
That's a
don't know.
funny
Yeah,
one.
I think I got a C grade average in health class, so I don't know. I'm more of an engineer than a doctor, but yeah,
Exactly,
no,
man.
it's concerning. No, the list is concerning, right? This has plagued us for many years now. Wenger
Mm,
years. I remember
yeah.
2010, 11, looking at our bench like, oh my God, we're going to bring on so and so, right? Whoever the hell it was then,
Mm.
Sonogo or somebody, right?
Oh
The,
my God, no.
right. So it's
Please don't go there.
I will not go there just for the sake of the show and your sanity. um, but yeah, no, it's a problem, and I
Mm,
don't know, and I don't pay much attention to like the medical side of things. I know some of our fans in our group, our community, kind of watch
mm,
that stuff, watch who the physio is, and I get
yeah,
that. But to me, injuries happen. It's part and parcel of the game. But
yeah.
it's just like, but I think you have a pretty good grasp on what you said earlier about how we push so hard and feverishly towards the end of these games that we're sort of maxed out on energy, right? And of course
On
that affects
energy, and the
muscles.
energy levels drop
Yeah, the energy levels drop. Your muscles start, getting softer or hardening up in
or
some cases.
contracting and stuff like that, right?
Exactly. So, I, the injuries are a problem. It's going to be a problem, and
It's gonna be a problem.
we have bulk players missing. To me, Martinelli and Trossard. I mean, crap. That's two of our most potent attackers right there. And for me, it can kind of go either way. Trossard has
Mm,
been better than Martinelli so far, but do I bench Martinelli in the North London Derby? I don't know. But on form, Trossard to me would have gotten that start even if Martinelli was fit, right? And
yeah.
that's man management. But going back to your thing about injuries, you know, Timber's, I saw some Instagram posts of Timber looking like he may be back around February. And I think that's a bit early than we thought, but he's not going to be match fit. Let's see how
No,
bad
they said no. Actually, the news is that he's coming back around December. That's the
December.
news.
Okay, but I saw
Yeah,
posts
there's
February.
a
February
new
they
there's a
thought he
new
could be back on.
technology. There's a new technology in stem cell development, something like
Hmm,
that, that was used to treat him. So it's
okay.
kind, yeah, he's already running already and even training.
Oh, good. Okay, well that's
As
even
I
better news
heard,
than I
yeah,
thought.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's
I
in
was
the
thinking
gym now and stuff
if he
like
was
that.
good in December, he might not be match fit till the 1st of February. But that's
Yeah,
even better news. So, but again, you bring him in. Is that going to solve our problem scoring goals? Because right now we're not
no,
scoring goals, right?
mm,
I mean, of course, it'll help with that because he's a better player, than Zinchenko, and he's going to compete with Ben White.
yeah,
Ben White was not very good yesterday. But
oh,
along with that, injuries are going to be a problem, Tony. And I don't have a solution for that, man. I really don't. I wish I had more to give you on that. It's a problem, and I think Saka's been having a slight muscle injury
a slight
for a
muscle
while.
injury.
And
Mm.
if Arteta knows that, then that doesn't look good on
T-
Arteta. But who the hell else are we going to play there? I mean, that's the problem, Tony. We go from good, or we go from like great. I consider soccer great to very average good, right? We don't have that sub that can
That's
come in
exactly.
and do the job like City
But
have, or like maybe even Liverpool in
but
some cases
but
have.
but again, Oregon Gunnar.
But that's what
Of
I'm
course,
saying.
it's good. It's good when you make that argument, yeah. But look at Bukayo Saka yesterday. In the dying minute before he left the game yesterday, yeah,
Yeah,
he was struggling,
he was hurting.
clearly struggling. It was hurting, and the way I was seeing him, there was a cry for help. Get me
Mm,
out of here! You see him struggling, and then we have Emmy Smith Rowe, who you should have even see. Why? See, that takes us to the next topic. Yeah, why did we keep Emmy Smith Rowe in this football club
right
when we could have gotten for £1 million?
from
Yeah,
Villa.
for the
Yeah,
for this guy.
yeah.
Yeah, and and and
No,
and
and
and you're giving him 5 minutes, even less than 5 minutes, to come in the London Derby, in which he puts up a performance than even Kai Havertz that even came in the second half.
I know, right?
It's shocking.
It's shocking.
Like
Yeah,
make
no, it
like
really
make
is.
make this make sense. So why would you give Emma Smith Rowe a new contract when you know you don't want to use him?
Right,
Why give Rhys Nelson a new contract when you don't want to bring him in to be a
right.
part of that game on time?
Essentially,
Why give these guys contracts if you don't trust them in the first place?
because Arteta doesn't have the experience, bro, of being a manager at a top club. I mean, as much as I love Errol Smith Rowe, hail end all the way,
Mm,
he was done at Arsenal about 2 or 3 seasons ago. If we really think about it, he really was. He had
mm,
that major injury, came back, looked good, and then he never played again. And that
mm.
should have been when he left. And again, he should have probably gone to Aston Villa because Eli Emery would be utilizing him, and Aston Villa need
Day
quality
in,
as
day out.
they can get. And
Day
40
in, day
million
out.
would have been that that probably would have been a little less than I would have wanted to get rid of him for. But at the same time, he hasn't shown a whole lot to be in that 50 to 65 million.
50 to,
I think
yeah,
Kai
bracket,
Havertz
right?
has either, though, right? I mean, Kai
Mm,
Havertz really is the $40 million player or less.
yeah.
And
Mm,
ESR really would be closer to me to around 50 million. But we haven't
yeah.
seen a $50 million player out of him because he hasn't
Yeah.
been given the chance. It was set up perfectly yesterday for ESR. We've seen him in Northland derbies. We've seen him score in North London derbies. We see him.
Yeah.
I think one game he had a goal and 2 assists in the derby. I mean, I think in the 4-2 he was instrumental in that game. If I remember,
Hmm.
there's so many of them. I know for a fact that he has scored in the recent London derbies over the last couple seasons, and I
Yeah.
know that he's not injured anymore. I mean, I don't know, Tony. It's just so frustrating because again, we see things and we think Arteta is with us, right? Essentially, he's
Yeah.
our manager. He's supposed to work for us. He's with us. He's not with us, bro. He's in his own psychological world of what he thinks he is, and he thinks he's Pep. but he doesn't have the tools of Pep. He doesn't have the players that Pep has. He doesn't have
mm.
the ownership board that Pep has, and the ruthlessness that they have in recruitment. The
But but
ruthlessness.
but but
They
again,
couldn't.
but
They
again,
couldn't
he has
get
been
Ramsdale.
supported.
They
But
couldn't
this
get
is
the
the
guy they
problem.
got. They went and got Nunez.
But this manager has been supported. He's the
Yeah,
most backed manager in the league. This
yeah.
guy's been supported. See, Oregon Guna, this guy just spent about 200 million this summer. Let's don't forget about this,
Yeah.
yeah? This guy just spent 200 million this
You're
summer
talking
alone.
about a player
Like,
we didn't
like,
receive.
let's don't even this summer alone.
Yeah.
So what? God, I can't believe this. Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying this. Postecoglou has gotten a Tottenham Hotspur team moving, playing good football, grinding our points, and playing good football, even without spending the amount of money that Mikel Arteta have done, and with less time.
Mhm.
And with less
Yeah.
time, look at how they're playing. If they continue like that, these guys will
Yeah.
see. If they continue like that, they'll get up for the season. How about that?
Mm, bro,
They'll get up for the season.
yeah, I think they're going to be found out because I think if you can get the ball through Sar and Buscema, that back line is very, very weak. And we
Mm,
didn't exploit it enough. But I'll tell you what, man, they go to Liverpool, I think, next weekend.
yeah,
Or Liverpool go there, and they're going to have a rude awakening because Liverpool are much better than us. And I've picked
yeah.
Liverpool to go second already, and us, I think. I've picked us to go third, but I'm having a lot of questions about that now after what I saw Sunday. And again, it goes
Oh
back
my
to
God.
also leaving goals late, Tony. Like the last few games,
Yeah.
nobody's been convinced.
Mm,
No, I can't think of any real Arsenal fan in our community, in our group here, that's
mm,
convinced of the performances that we've seen
mm,
against Fulham. I mean, PSV being the outlier, right? But again, PSV gave us acres of space. That I don't even want to consider PSV a game. That was just a warm-up game for Sunday, as far as I'm concerned.
exactly.
I'm talking about
Exactly.
Premiership games. We're not scoring good goals in open play. We're
In
not.
open play.
We have two or three that are decent, but the rest have been pushes at the end. And
Mm,
you've played, I'm sure, enough. People in the chat have played the game a bit. I've played for many, many years. You can't leave it late, bro. It just doesn't work that way. It only works that way on fate. It's fate
mm,
that Reece Nelson scored that goal against Bournemouth. He was in the right place at the
yeah.
right time.
At
But
the
we
right
cannot
time.
use that as the catalyst or the litmus test to say, oh, this is what we do. We're
Yeah.
leaving it late. Well, City, Liverpool, who else is scoring goals now? Give me some names. I forget.
Darwin
Tottenham,
Nunes. Darwin
you know,
Nunes is blighting
are
the
scoring
league. He's
goals.
scoring
Or
goals.
Newcastle put 8 on the other day.
Mitoma
Thomas
is
scoring
scoring
goals,
goals.
right? So
All these
Brighton,
guys,
West
all these
Ham,
guys
Jared
are
Bowen,
scoring goals.
right? And
All
I mean,
these guys are scoring goals.
I would pay West Ham 50 mil to bring Jared Bowen in right now.
I'm telling you, man,
Give him
it's
Reece
better than
Nelson
Kai
for
Havertz.
20.
It's better than Kai Havertz that we have down there.
Right. I mean, so
Yeah,
it's
it's
right.
better
Brighton
than Kai
scoring
Havertz
goals
that we
again.
have down there.
We're leaving it late, and that puts so much pressure, and then it leads into what you're saying. It leads into bad decisions and
Mm,
injuries, so forth.
mm,
Your body's spent in this league
exactly,
after 75, 80 minutes. I mean, mine's
exactly.
spent after 40 minutes already. You know what I mean? It just
Good.
gets
Talking
worse and
about
worse
body,
as you get
talk,
older.
talking about energy levels
Yeah.
dropping and body being spent and muscles contracting and all that stuff in that corpus and in that spectrum. Yeah, we have. We're moving into the next topic this week. We
Mm,
have Brentford
yeah.
midweek. Yeah, in that Carabao Cup game.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen? I've already seen some Arsenal fan channels. They're already saying Arsenal will lose. Do you think
Mm,
Arsenal is going to lose to Brentford? Because that's an interesting one.
it is.
Injuries are piling up.
They
I,
are.
I don't think Mikel Arteta has enough faith in that team B
Mm,
in our bench and all that. Yeah. So
right.
who are the guys that are gonna play in
Well, we know
in this
Emil Smith
midweek
Rowe's
game?
not going to play.
And even up exactly, and even apart from that,
Right.
this is the bigger fish. We are going to be playing Bournemouth. Yeah,
Right. Away.
away this
Yep.
weekend. Bournemouth stifled what Chelsea brought to the table. Yeah,
We did.
Chelsea couldn't even they couldn't win down there. good and okay. I'm not saying Chelsea is that bar that we have to look up to. But
Mhm.
again, yeah, there are no pushovers away. They will give you a big fight. Yeah, they might lose, but they'll give you a big fight.
Right.
And right now, Arsenal is not putting up performances. Right now,
Mhm.
the performance level has dropped from last season. The- it has dropped tremendously. That you would even you would even think that it was last season that we spent
Mhm.
that 200 million pounds in the summer to buy players, yeah, than
Mhm.
just this than for this season's preparation where we spent that 200 million because we looked more better last season and we're
Yep.
even mauling teams at the start of last season than we're doing right now. And the thing there with last season is that we had performances to back that up. The
Correct.
performances were there. So while we're mauling these teams, while we're grinding out points, we're also having the performance. I'm not talking of this ball possession we're having, sideways passing. No, I'm
No.
talking of putting a performance.
They're putting in
Yeah,
runs. Yeah. Yeah. Players runs. Yeah.
dominating play, transitions,
Mhm.
hold up play from the
Yeah.
strikers, defensive showing. All these things we were doing it down there last season, but this
Mhm.
season those performances have all gone away. Do you have Do you have any confidence in us going to face Brentford and Bournemouth this week?
No. No. I think he's going to start Nketiah again just because of injuries.
Mm,
Um, he's going to start playing players because he has to, not because he wants to. And
mm,
you never want to be in that position as a manager.
yeah.
Um, but no,
TJ is in the house.
TJ,
Yeah.
my guy.
TJ.
He did his show every Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern.
TJ Po 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 Po. That's our guy. TJ, I missed you in the North
Legend, bro.
London Derby, man. Big up
Well,
to
he's
you.
not
That's
happy
my
either.
friend.
Trust me.
He's not happy, yeah, but
He's not happy either.
he was having a goddamn party, the night before,
Yeah, he
and that
was
was good, man.
singing his ass off,
I
but
saw posts of that, man. Great, great,
yeah.
great.
But I'm
Doing
glad
great
that
things.
my man TJ is able to do his gigs and get that negative energy
Exactly.
out because he
Out.
probably was not
Exactly.
happy.
Big ups to
But Tony,
TJ. Go subscribe to that channel. Big guy. I love that guy. He's my big friend. Congrats to him. His channel just got monetized. 500 plus subscribers. What are you waiting for? Go down there and have a chat with TJ Warren TV. Yeah,
yeah.
you were saying
So
something
Brentford, I'm just going to call it what it is, man. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. Um,
against Brentford, right?
yeah, I mean he's going to mix it up a bit. I think. Hopefully, we'll see. Well, God dang, this is FA. Oh wait, this is Carabao Cup.
Who do we put up in that matchup?
Is
See,
it Carabao Cup or
Oregon
FA Cup? Is it
is
Carabao
it
Cup?
Carabao
Oh,
Cup.
okay, that's
And
right.
see, yeah, Oregon Gunner. I don't think you've actually opened up your mind to even look at these things, yeah.
I,
Because
I'm still
we
mad
have
from yesterday.
we
Yeah,
have close to six players who are a big injury
yeah,
worry.
6 important players.
who,
Yeah,
who are going to play Brentford.
I
And
know. I don't
Brentford
know.
are not going to sleep on
Put the
this. They're going to
reserves out
come with the
there.
light. They're going
No,
to
right.
come with the bees. They want to
They
sting
are.
us, right?
They
They're going
are.
to come with the bees,
Right.
midweek. So what do you think?
As they should. No, they're going to come up with their best lineup for sure.
Mm, mm,
They're because this could be a big opportunity to them to get some silverware, right?
yeah.
Not that they may make a deep run in the cup. We'll see. But you're right. We can't lower our standards just because it's Brentford in the Carabao Cup. We need, like I said, at the beginning of the season, along with our man TJ, along with you, Tony, and Connor,
Mm,
here to there,
mm,
we have to win every single game. There's just no room for draws, and there's certainly
mm.
no room for losses in anything. If we don't win the league this year, I'm number one going to be absolutely furious. But if we win the Carabao Cup, at least we have something. So I want us to fight on all fronts. I want us to try and win everything. Why
Mm.
not? But I don't think that's the mentality Arteta has. So I wouldn't be surprised if we still see Eddie and Kedia, if we see Havertz, and we're going to see Jorginho and Jorginho's going to lose the ball, and he's going to give up another goal. It's
Oh
already
my
written in
god!
the stars, my brother. It's written in the stars.
But,
Thomas Partey's
but,
out. The Rice ain't going to be in there.
but,
Jorginho's the one.
but again, yeah, you see, you just reminded me of this Jorginho guy. This guy has managed to slip through the cracks. What I
Yeah,
mean by slip through the cracks
I
is
think I
that
know.
for some reason this guy just, I don't know, he hides himself in a way. No criticism is given to him. No one even want to do an Arsenal therapy
Oh,
on this
got it
guy.
yesterday.
He
Yeah,
slips through the cracks, and we've totally forgotten that this is, you know, another Deadwood that we got
right,
from from Chelsea Football
right.
Club. Yeah, one of their castaways. Yeah, that they dumped on this football club, and this guy has managed to evade criticism in this team. Yesterday was enough reason to bring down the goddamn
Mm,
station. Yeah,
right.
bring
Yeah.
bring down the goddamn station on this guy. What do you think of that gaff by Jorginho yesterday?
Well, it cost us the game. Bringing him on to calm and soothe the game down, right? To calm the game down, to possession ball, spread
An
the ball out a bit wide.
experience, right?
Experienced player.
Experience.
Yeah, but at the same time, Tony, there's two sides of the coin.
Mm.
Mistakes happen, right? Am I going to go out and just slaughter the guy? I don't know.
But
I
again,
mean,
this is the not London
I
derby.
know. And
This
then the
kind
whole other
of
side of the coin
mistakes.
turns over, and it's like,
Just
you stupid donkey
oh,
fuck. Like it's the North London Derby. You touch the ball outside the right foot, you turn around and you pass it backwards. You dumb shit, right? But that stuff happens in the splits, a hundredth of a second. I am not making excuses for Jorginho. I didn't want to sign him. It was a last minute signing. He scored a great goal off of Emmy's big knob head. Now, great, get out of my club. Go back to Italy, Brazil. I don't. He's Brazilian, Italian. I don't fucking know. But the thing is that there's so many
it's
better players
crazy.
we can get, bro. Like we didn't.
It's crazy.
So
It's
the
hurting.
whole thing,
It's
Tony,
hurting.
spiraled out of control, bro. In my aspects with the January window, when we
Mm,
didn't get Jao Felix because we didn't want to spend $3 million more, and so we're looking around a bargain. And when Casado's out here in our head, oh, it's too much money. But Casado's barking in Edu's head all of January last year, right?
mm.
And what do? We go back to Jorginho, who we were basically wanting to get in 2017 when he was a prime Jorginho out of Napoli. And really, he wasn't even that good at City or Chelsea. I mean,
It's
Chelsea,
crazy, man. It's crazy. The bouncing off the ropes podcast. Big ups to you
crazy.
guys. Go subscribe to that channel. Yeah. Big ups to you. The bouncing off the ropes podcast, man. I'll get down to your comment later on. See, yeah. Let's move into this one, of course. But what's your prediction for the game against Bournemouth?
Bournemouth coming up. Phew. I think we're going to do them 2-1.
Okay. Do,
We get a
do
goal
you
in the
think
70.
we'll put up a big performance?
No, no. I think what you'll see is Odegaard getting manhandled all over the pitch if he doesn't have 3 yards to move. If if their manager looks at the game we played against Spurs yesterday and says,
Mm.
"Oh, okay, I can
Okay.
manage that. I can block.
Ex- ex-
I can put 4 men in the
exactly.
midfield and knock Odegaard off the
I'll
ball all
have a
day
go.
long."
I'll have a go. I will have a go. That's what they'll say. Any team that will face Arsenal now will look at that game against Tottenham Hotspurs and say, "Oh my God, these guys aren't putting performances. Why are we afraid of these guys? We can literally have a go at
Right?
these guys. Like literally have a go."
We could.
Nottingham Forest had a go and see what happened. Fulham had a go. And again, what is it with our home games this season? Yeah, that we keep on leaking goals at
Um,
home.
Complacency.
We've shipped in goals this season. The Emirates used to be a fortress, right? At
Yeah.
least, even if we lose, it used to be away. Yeah, even if we have a shitty game, yeah, at least maybe 0-0, 1-1 or something at the Emirates. But brother, to come to the Emirates and get a
Mm.
2-2 draw, man, it shows our defense is porous in front of our home fans. At
It's a
our
mistake,
home.
bro. I don't. Yeah, your porous is a good
What?
word, or mistake prone, right? Because essentially, David Raya came up with that fabulous save that saved the game, and Romero had the handball, which essentially Ben White would have scored, which I would have given Ben White,
Yeah,
like I said, a 5-4 just for that because I thought he was absolutely terrible for most of the game. I think he was
horrible.
responsible for Son's goal when on the tap in. Um, that came from Madison because that was Ben White's positioning. He was there. He could have stuck a foot in and got that ball, but that's another story.
Yeah.
But going against Bournemouth, man, I feel like they're gonna if their manager goes back and watches what we did, or watch what Tottenham did against us. and implements that sort of game plan, we won't have any steel. Rice will probably be out. Party's out. Jorginho, Steele. I mean, come on. Odegaard, Steele, not really. Vieira. So now we have a very much weakened midfield that seems to be the trend for the last 15 fucking years, Tony. Why won't we
Exactly,
buy
exactly,
midfielders with height and strength? You can't just buy
exactly.
one. Like we bought Rice and expect him to do work miracles. He can't be a party and a Xhaka at the same time if your Xhaka is going up the pitch. So again, we don't have and this is something I've been on for years and years and years about this club. We need steel in the midfield. I don't care if they're speedy, tricky, fast. That's for a center attacking mid or a center forward and wingers. We need steel,
You,
people that can
you
knock
need
players off
steel.
the ball, turn on a dime and get the ball up the pitch, not laterally, not backwards, up the pitch to an
But
attacking
but but
forward.
again, but again, but again, that was why we spent £105 million for Declan
Right.
Rice. He was the guy to do that, right? He was that midfield enforcer that were brought
He
in
is.
to turn guys over, to bully these guys off the midfield,
He
right?
is.
Is it that he's not doing it, or is it that we have a problem with his fitness level? What is it?
It's
Why
a
did we
combination
spend
of both.
£105 million
Right.
only to need another midfield enforcer, another midfield battler? Why?
hmm Yeah, and that's a really really good question, Tony, because a midfielder battler and someone who can just pivot and pass the ball are two different types of players, right? I
Okay,
think Declan Rice
okay.
kind of include all that, right? He can be the pivot, he can be the box to box, or he can be the
Mm.
guy that just sits in front of the back four. But no matter what, Arteta needs to explain to him exactly what he needs him to do. So I think Declan Rice kind of goes out. Maybe he went out there yesterday thinking, "Oh shit, I got to do all these things against an informed team with no support." Because Havertz, it's not like having anybody there. Odegaard, in and out of the game. I mean, he's great when he can ticky tacky in front of the 18-yard
It's
box and get a
true.
nice
It's
run
true.
out, but he does
It's true.
nothing in the middle of the park, really. He does some neat
Mm.
flicks. I'm not going to slam him, but it's like it all falls on Declan Rice's shoulders. It all fell on Thomas Partey's shoulders. And like Lee Gunner said, you've said, I've said, we're one injury away from complete catastrophe. If Rice's
Exactly.
injury is worse than we think it
Ex-
is, we are dead. We
We're
are dead.
done. We're
Rice is
done. We're
done
done.
for months.
And we don't have
If he's out
anyone
for
in the
two
middle
months,
of the
it's
park.
over. The whole league is just fucking done
I'm telling you, and that's the truth. And here today, see,
because we have
here
no
today,
one
yeah.
who can
Here
replace
today,
him.
you are my guy, yeah. But when you pull up this type of statements, man, you said, well said, down. Mistakes happen,
Yeah,
and Georgie has been solid. See, man, see, he
yeah.
hasn't,
He's
see,
he's
see,
still
man.
a very good
See,
player. I'm not
he's
going to just
he's a
slam the
Chelsea
guy.
pensioner. See, we shouldn't be having this kind of guy in the club. Yeah,
Right,
we
and
just
Lee
brought. See,
Gunner would
would
agree
you
with that,
see?
but
We
he's
just put
way
him in the Not
cheaper.
London Derby. We put him in the Not London Derby to give us still. And look at what he
Right.
went there to do.
Yeah.
See, man, let's don't beautify. See, this guy can't get into a Man City team. He can't get into that
Mm.
team. He can't. So why? See, I'm tired of getting the scraps from Chelsea Football Club and making them heroes in our football club.
Right.
I'm sorry,
Or
enough.
attempting to.
Enough is enough. Just look at the
Yeah.
one we're dealing with right now, Kai Havertz. Just look at that one we're dealing with right now. Yeah.
There was a
So
time, bro,
it's a
yesterday.
big problem for us,
There was a
and we
moment.
how to ship out
Right.
these players is even a bigger problem.
Right.
How do we ship Kai Havertz as quickly as possible off this team and
Dude, he's got
bring
to lower
someone
his
who is more
wages.
befitting? Yeah,
I
see,
mean,
look at Mitoma. Look at the amount
mhm,
of goals that guy is scoring. Look at what he
mhm.
did for Brighton just this weekend.
Yeah.
He's scoring goals. He's
Yeah.
scoring goals. Callum
Smart
Wilson is
player.
scoring goals. All these guys here in that same bracket around Kai Havertz's stature, they're all scoring
Mhm.
goals. They're all putting in performances.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we spent £65 million on someone who we don't even know where to play him. And Mikel Arteta is hell bent on putting this guy in that team. And mind you, that's what cost us Thomas Partey because we're forcing him, making him to run, and tie his muscles at right back.
hmm
That is what has run this guy on the ground too.
hmm
So it's a big problem, man. It's a big
It's
problem.
massive. It's a massive problem because I think we're going to even, like I said, we're going to struggle against Brentford because they're going to be up for it. If they're going to want to make a deep run in the cup, so and all the more power to them. They should. They should
Man,
play their best squad. I mean, there's even the question still that Arteta doesn't really know his best 11 because he doesn't include
does he
Kai
know the best
Havertz.
11?
He doesn't. I mean, he's not giving Smith Rowe a sniff. I just, last season I
Oh,
thought he was kind of calling Smith Rowe and putting ESR. Can you please tell me the tactical impact of putting him on? Is that he has energy and he can run, and he could have been perfect on the left wing assembled. Why don't move? Why keep Eddie on for 100 minutes? Take Eddie off, but
see,
move Jesus from left to the middle, put ESR on the left. At least there's energy and movement and creativity there. He doesn't have to be, a prime Ronaldo. That's not what we're asking, bro. But
exactly.
but he has energy and he can shoot the
He has
ball and
energy
pass.
level, and
I mean, it's
again and
just
again. See, yeah, when you have ESR in your team, you have
it's
this
energy.
kind of, you have this kind of trickery in the middle of the park.
Yeah,
Yeah, he can literally create pocket spaces. Yeah,
right.
by himself with his runs,
Myself.
and
Yep.
is interchanging passes here and there with and bringing attacking assets together while finding those pocket spaces to
Mm.
drift into. That's what makes
Yeah,
this guy a very valuable player. But the bigger
right.
question they assembled is that why didn't this guy come in 15 minutes to the end of the game? That's the bigger
Mm.
that is the
Right.
sacrilege that was committed
Right.
in that
Why
game.
pull
It's
Jesus
not
on?
even about the theatrics of bringing him in. It's about why wasn't this guy brought in to that team 20 to 30 minutes to the end of the game? Why bring him in for 5 minutes, showing the Arsenal
It's
fans in a home game
disrespectful.
what they're missing?
It's
And
disrespectful.
oh my God, it's disrespectful, man. It leaves a
Dude,
bad taste in our mouths, man.
it does.
See,
And the
man.
thing is with
Uh,
ESR too, Tony, what I want to think too, as well as assemble, is I know we play in a 4-3-3 right now when you would think ESR would be on that left or right hand side in the midfield. He can play
mm,
the wing. He used to play right wing in the reserves a lot of the time. He can play left wing
exactly.
or right wing. He's versatile. It's a word that I don't really like to use because I believe that players are played in specific positions and because that's what they're good at, right? But he's pretty versatile. I mean, he's good on left, right foot, and he wears the number 10. What team
That-
doesn't put out their number 10? What squad doesn't put out their number 10? Oh, Arsenal, the only club in the EPL that doesn't play their number 10. It's
Oh
dumb,
my God.
bro.
It's
It's
done.
just
It's done and
dumb.
dusted. Done and dusted. See, the final one before we go, man. 1 hour, 13
Yeah,
minutes.
Hendon.
See, yeah, my brother. Hendon Guna, big ups to you, man. Big ups to you, Hendon Guna. Hendon Guna! He gets a po, man. He gets a po. Hendon Guna. Po. Luke James, too. Big ups to you,
Mm,
man. Real hero down here with us, yeah. See, Ivan Tony.
get it.
If what happened in the North London Derby should teach us any lesson, it should be that we need a striker. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
and
need a striker whose focal point will be not just to poach in goals, yeah, but
right.
will be clinically aware of the 18-yard box, the people around
Yep,
him, bringing assets together and poach goals for us. We need an EPL proven player. There's a reason why I say that. We need a player, a striker who is proven in the Premiership.
for
Yeah,
sure.
who is that person in this league that we can go and get that's proven that could give us 20 to 25 goals this season?
Erling Holland, Julian
Elliot,
Alvarez, Ivan
mm,
Toney, Cody Gakpo. You spend the money, they will come. I'm joking about Erling Holland, by the way.
I
But
got a
they went
heart
to see
attack
for
when you said
65
that.
million. Let's be realistic, right? The money we spent on Havertz, they spent on Holland, and look what they got. So with that being said, Ivan Tony, I've said for a while
Ivan
on
Tony.
streams that Ivan Tony's not coming to Arsenal. I've said that. And now maybe,
But,
hey,
but,
if
wh-
I'm
but
in the
why?
running,
But again, why do you think that?
because
Chelsea
I think
Football Club doesn't have Champions League. We can give him Champions
right,
League.
true,
He has
true,
his teammates down here with us
right,
also in David
because
Raya, who might be that number one also.
right. I guess my thinking at the time, Tony, was that um, he what he's involved in. I don't didn't know if
Mhm.
Arsenal want to get involved with what's that what's going on with him outside football, right? With the
Yeah,
betting.
outside football. Yeah.
And I wasn't sure, like when he was coming back to training, which I mean, I don't know if Arsenal was aware when he was coming back to. I don't know how close they're keeping tabs on. And I thought a lot of it was really just the rumors, social media rumors and so forth.
Yeah.
That the time they beat us, he tweeted something that Arteta, I think, showed in the All or Nothing, saying, "Look, Ivan Toney's talking about us." So I thought there was maybe some bad blood there between us and
Mm.
Tony. Um, but as news has come out in the last, month or so, that he's very interested in joining Arsenal, and that there may be some business we can do there. Um, I wouldn't pay over 50 million for him. I've heard rumors of 55 and 60. I wouldn't really go over
No,
that.
he's worth 60 million. Brentford will be looking to
Okay,
get 60,
is that is
70
that the
million
price
from
they've
him.
set? Well, I don't see, and I don't know if I rate him that. But
And he's an
honest,
English player. He's an English player.
well, they're the English
He's
tax.
better than Kai Havertz, right?
Oh shit, yeah. You're better than Kai Havertz. Hendon
Bro,
Gunner's
that,
better than Kai
that
Havertz.
that's the
The
only
Assemble's
answer
better
that
than
we
Kai
need.
Havertz. My sick son upstairs sleeping in his
That's
bed
the
out
only
of school
answer we
today is
need.
better than Kai Havertz. Trust me, he scored 9 goals one game. Anyway,
Hendon Gunnar is better than Kai
Hendon
Havertz.
Gunner
Hemsmere
could
better than Kai.
play
Every
Havertz off the
single,
pitch.
every one of you guys are better than this guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Tony, I'm going to say one thing about Havertz. There was a moment yesterday where he was literally running behind Jesus, following him like a lost puppy. He was running
Oh,
behind him, not to the
oh my
side,
God.
looking for the ball, not trying to take the defender away, but literally running behind him like he was chasing him. It happened for about a minute or 30 seconds during the game yesterday. You blink, you would have missed it. He didn't overlap him. He didn't run next to him. He didn't pull a defender off. He ran behind him like a dog was lost, like he was
Oh
following
my
Jesus on where to
God.
go. Literally. And it
Oh
happened just in the blink
Jesus
of an eye.
Christ.
But it happened on the left side while we were attacking yesterday. I just wanted to
Mm.
get that little piece in there. I
You
have
piece in there, yeah.
with Ivan Toney, if that's the direction we're going, I know he's good. He's physical. He's a fighter. He can score
He
goals.
can give you 20,
I don't
25
have any
goals in a
qualms about
season.
bringing him. I just didn't think he would really be, the one that Edu and Arteta would point at. But maybe I'm wrong, and I have no problem being wrong. Bring him in. We need goals. I want to win. I don't give a fuck who they bring in, as long as it's not Kenny and Havertz. I'm done
But
with
look at
those
the assemble.
players.
There's a reason why I held off on this comment for a little
Sure.
while. Look at this comment. The assemble. Shout out to you, the assemble. Yeah, big ups to
Thank
you.
you.
He says if Tony comes to Arsenal, he'll have to play like Jesus, so he would fit in the system. Do you think if he comes down here, he would have to do the kind of work that Gabriel Jesus is doing? I don't think that's in his wheelhouse. It's not in his wheelhouse to do what Gabriel Jesus is doing. He's a goal poacher. He's that guy you put. It's a traditional number nine. It's that guy you want in, at the end of
Yeah,
goals, that can go in behind the striker and score goals. That's always there at the 18-yard box,
yeah,
ready to poach and latch onto all those balls that come into that 18-yard box and poach them. He's a goal poacher, a traditional
yeah.
number nine.
But he's also very mobile, and I think I see where Assembled is going with this. He's
Yeah,
not going to stand at the excuse me. He's not going to stand at the penalty spot and wait for the ball to come to him. He's
yeah.
going to have to move. If Jesus is on the left side, for example, Tony's up front, and Saka's on the right. Just for example, he's going to have to interchange with Jesus and Saka, right? He's going to have to go left while Saka comes outside the box to whip that shot in with his left foot, right?
Mm,
He's going to have to rotate with Jesus because Jesus is going to get the ball. He's going to want to dribble inside the 18-yard box. He's going to want to go tiki taka, and get the shot off, or he's going to want to lay it off, right? Hopefully, if I don't know if I want to see Jesus and Tony together in some ways because I think they're kind of the same player in some ways, and they'd literally like almost run into each other because they'd be
each
going
other, right?
for the same ball at certain areas of the pitch
But
in
but
between
again,
those channels.
but
That's the
again, Jesus is
communication
not a
part, right?
clinical striker.
Uh,
Jesus is not a clinical striker.
no, but
He's not a clinical
to be
striker.
honest,
I do
Tony,
take
I'm not
Ivan
sold on
Tony to
Tony
be a
either.
clinical striker. He's a
And Tony,
dangerous man to have in
yeah,
the 18-yard box.
yeah, I just don't know if he's bro. And that's the thing. I don't know enough about Tony, and I haven't seen enough, I guess I should say, to say that yes, he will fire us to a Champions League quarterfinal or semifinal, or he. I just he's good, bro. I get it. He's very
Yeah.
good, but 25 years of this shit. I need great. I need
Yeah.
great. I need great,
Mm,
bro. You need great. We
yeah.
deserve great. We
But again,
deserve great. I'm
but
done with
again, the
good.
striker market isn't looking good. Who do you bring to the fray to be able to score you or get you 30 goals? The striker market isn't really that good out
No,
there,
you're
right?
right. You're right. It's not that good. Well, that's where you got to be ruthless, and that's where and like I said, when Mbappe first had those problems, we have the money. We have the money. I don't want to hear anything about we have the money, and if we don't have the money, then we need to be looking at selling to get
Hmm.
someone of Mbappe quality in there. You're
Yeah.
again, you're shopping in the Lamborghini window, bro, and you're not shopping in the Honda and Toyota window, which we've been shopping in, right?
Yeah.
So when you
In
shop in the Lamborghini
Poundland,
window and you
shopping in
buy the
Poundland.
Lamborghini and you get
Mm,
2 or 3 good years out of the Lamborghini, you can still sell it for a very, very good price, right? A
mm,
$250,000 Lambo, if you use it sparingly, right? And you get money
mm,
back, you're going to get 190, 100, $200,000 back, right? Now, if you equate that to players, you're going to get that level of quality, and that's the quality I want.
mm,
Again,
mm.
City got Holland for 65 mil, and yeah, he's worth about 300 mil now or more, 350 maybe. I don't
Oh
know,
my God.
but we need to. I think the quality's out there, but we've missed it. Like Marcus
We've
Thuram is
missed it.
what I wanted. Diaby was what
Oh,
I wanted. So Marcus Thuram at Inter is absolutely destroying them. And I know it's the
yeah.
Italian league, but I rate the Italian league. I rate the Italian league. I think it's one of the top leagues in the world. To me, England, Spain, Italy. So Marcus Thuram was one we were looking at, right? We were looking at Ramos, who's now at PSG. We're
That's
looking.
PSG, yeah.
There's strikers out there, Tony. We could have really made a play for, but again, we didn't want João Felix because we didn't want to spend $3 million extra, right? João Felix would have absolutely annihilated it for us because he's that mobile striker that I think assembles getting to.
But again, we saw him on a Chelsea shirt, and I told you I don't want
Right,
any
he wasn't a
any
Chelsea
player that has played
player.
for Chelsea. I don't want to see
I get
any
it, Tony,
Chelsea
but he
player
was on loan. But he was on loan,
at
right?
us.
The only Chelsea got him because
It
we
doesn't
bid.
matter. Anybody who has done the Chelsea shirt,
Tony's
I
like,
don't want to see any one of them in the
I
enough,
get what you're saying.
enough,
But if it wasn't to Chelsea, right?
enough.
Because essentially he was
Yeah,
going to come here, right? You got a good point. I don't want to talk about would have, could have, should have, right?
shoulda,
That's not a
woulda,
debate,
coulda, shoulda.
right? Those are hypothetical things that didn't happen. So,
Mm,
but with that, but again, it goes down to mentality and mindset. How bad do you want to win? You've got this. It's
that's the
obvious you
thing.
have to spend the money to win, and you have to shop in the Lamborghini and Ferrari windows. Not all the time,
Can
but
we get Kylian
a lot
Mbappe?
of the time. If we,
Can
bro, if the pitch is there, if the money and the pitch and the wages are there, say, look, we came in second last season. We want to beat City. We want you to compete against United. We want you to compete against Liverpool. We want you to compete against City. Three of the best, well, two of the best cherished teams, in the history of football, meaning United and Liverpool. Why would you want
trust
to go
me?
against Lawns and fucking
If I
St.
was Kylian Mbappe, I would take your
Who
pitch right now and
cares?
come to us.
And they're not going to win the Champions League because they don't have the defense in the midfield. So it's
Shocking, man.
Kylian Mbappe has put himself in the corner. He'll be a Real Madrid player next season. But the thing
See,
is that how ruthless do you want to be, Tony? How ruthless does Arteta and
mm,
Edu want to be in the Crockies?
want to be. Mm,
If you've got big American balls and you want to spend money, go make a statement. Sell
go make a
Odegaard
statement.
with
Mm,
cash and go get Mbappe.
mm.
Changes
See,
everything.
Oregon Gunner, yeah. See, big things popping up here.
Spend the money.
Raya versus Ramsdale. Who do you keep?
Raya.
And again, secondly, an attachment to that question. Are we really overhyping our defenders? Yeah, our defensive setup. See, we just took 2 goals, 2 quick goals.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
you've got a good
two
point.
goals from Tottenham Hotspurs at home in a home game. It's not a good look. No matter how we spin this, it's not a good look.
Right.
Conceding twice, yeah, to our
Mm,
biggest rivals in not London, yeah, or in the whole of London, if you want to say so. Anyway,
hmm
it's not a good look. So, are we overhyping our defense? Do you think that?
hmm.
Do you think we're just overhyping that defensive setup right now?
Wow, that's a really really good question, Tony. God, that's a good question. There's times they look shaky. I mean, we praise Saliba, we praise Gabriel, because I believe they're probably one of the better pairing ships in the league, if not in the top five, right? If you take
Mm,
top
mm,
teams, right?
mm,
Diaz Diaz is a solid player. Van Dijk's solid. Lisandro Martinez is absolute crap. United can have him all day long. Um, but then I would put in like Saliba and Gabriel. But there's weaknesses, man. There's weaknesses. Like I don't think any real defender in any league right now is the finished article, right? You can make a
okay.
case for Kanji and maybe say Diaz because they're best in the world right now, but they're going to be prone to mistakes. I think when it breaks to me, and I think maybe to you, the center back pairing is all about communication. It's all
Mm,
about communication. Where you're at, what you see, who's behind you, who's next to you. You see what's going on in front of you during the whole match, right? Because you're obviously in the back of the field.
mm, yeah.
So I think Saliba is world class. I think French international. He's going to do big things for the France squad. Gabriel's just got called up to Barcelona squad, which in my opinion makes him world class. Some people would disagree with that, but mistakes happen. We got to still remember that they're human beings, bro, and they're going to make mistakes. The game moves so fast.
So
We can say,
fast.
yeah. There's times right it's slow, right? Buildups are slow, but in the moment of things, and when goals are scored, and there's chaos in the box, that's when
Chaos in
mistakes
the
happen.
box. Mm,
Chaos in the box is what led to Son's goal. If Ben White moves his foot 6 inches to the right, it's no goal.
so
And then they're
go.
saying Ben White shit. No, he needs to move his foot, right? And so
Mm,
we really, when it comes down to like, especially yesterday, we're really splitting hairs because what happened was both teams just made mistakes.
yeah, basically.
Those mistakes don't happen, right? Saka, you can say there was a mistake with Saka with Madison. He didn't do enough to get him off the ball. But the real
Mm,
mistake was Ben White not getting Son, not getting his foot in to get the ball away from Son, right?
mm,
Obviously,
mm,
the Jorginho mistake. And if it wasn't for Romero being a complete donkey, we would have been scored. So
exactly.
it was really a game. It was really a game of errors, to be honest. It was just mistake prone. I think the tension and the nerves got to both sides. It got to the fans, and I think we weren't prepared for them, and they really weren't
No,
prepared for us.
for
Right?
us too. Yeah, exactly.
It was just
Because the reason why I asked that
yeah.
question, the reason I asked that question, I reckon,
Mhm.
Q and I, is that this season we haven't kept a clean sheet at home.
Very true.
We haven't kept a clean sheet
Yeah,
at home. We've always conceded.
right.
Yeah, we conceded against Nottingham Forest, two against Fulham, and see,
Yeah.
and we getting these goals. Yeah, the way we swallowing up these goals. Yeah, it's coming. It's tripling up. It's tripling
Mhm.
up. Two goals against Fulham in a home game. Remember, in a home game. Yeah, and then in the biggest stage of all. Yeah, at least in London. Yeah, the Not London Derby, we're conceding two goals again. So
Mhm.
this is what warrants me to start asking that question, man. I- Is this defense really as good? Because okay, look, just to look, James, see what he said about our defense right now. He said
Mhm.
Gabriel is a beast. Of course, I do accept he's a beast. And Saliba has that elegance and calmness, and
True.
about him, but at top class. It's good when we say these things, yeah, like
It
this.
is. Yeah.
But the truth is that that defense haven't kept a clean sheet
Mm.
this season, apart from Crystal
Yeah.
Palace.
Yeah.
That's a big problem.
It
That's a
is.
big.
And
It's a big problem. If you want to be a mid-table team, or if you want
yeah.
to be a top four team, it's totally not a problem. Yeah. If you want to be a top four team,
Right.
it's not a
Right.
problem. But if you want to be at the end of winning trophies,
Hmm.
getting the three-peat, winning the Champions League,
Right.
winning the FA Cup, yeah, winning the Carabao Cup all at the same time, like Manchester
Hmm.
City. If you want to be in the mix with the bigger boys in the league, like the
Hmm.
Liverpools and the Manchester Cities, you can't leak goals and dash goals out like
Right.
that in home games. You don't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I mean,
And
the
Man City
Jorginho goal
doesn't.
speaks for
Man
itself,
City
right?
doesn't do this. We're not
Right.
keeping clean sheets, and it's a big problem at home.
It
So what
is. And we're
happens
scoring
away
goals
when we
late.
get? It's true. So what happens away when we go to these tougher places and meet tougher oppositions like the Liverpools, like the Man Cities, then it
Well,
shows we'll be ripped a new one down there because we can't even keep clean sheets right at home.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's a big problem.
It is a problem, and I truly think it just comes down to communication. It's I hate to say this, but it's still early in the season. It's the beginning of the season, and we know things will get. We don't know things will get better, but I think that specifically Saliba and Gabriel, it'll get better, right? The communication will be there. There'll be some games we slaughter teams like we did PSV. Um, you know, and I think it's just down to mistakes, man. I've said this time after time. Against the top teams, you just cannot make mistakes. Now,
Mistakes.
and even you can't in any game, right? Because we're chasing a title. But like you said, if really top four is the aim, you're going to draw and you're going to lose. It's going to happen. But if you're trying to keep up with City, man, you have to be perfect on the day. Your
You have to
concentration
stop leaking
cannot.
goals. You have to
Yeah, you
defend properly.
can't lose your concentration for just a smidge, just a second.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think there's the pairing isn't lost, right? Like they're going to come good. There's going to be games where they're going to be spectacular. And I believe they are world class. They're both in their national squads. They proved it last season that they work well together.
Mm,
Obviously Saliba, the back injury is out. It was really kind of the downfall at the end of last season.
mm.
But he looks fine now, bro. He was running that ball around really good Sunday. I thought he was one of our better players. I mean, he was dribbling out of trouble, dribbling around Son, dribbling around Madison.
But is Gabriel looking a little bit suspect?
Gabriel's always looked a little suspect of those two because we know he's got the bozo gene,
He
right?
got the bozo
Um,
gene, man.
but he's still very good, bro. Like I don't think like
You need to look at our
trying
face when we
to
talk about
upgrade
the bozo
him.
gene, man.
The only upgrade is Ruben Diaz, right? And we're not getting him. Like maybe there's
Mm,
somebody in Germany or something. I don't know. Maybe you look at center backs in Italy, right? The defensive league,
yeah.
but we're not trading for nobody, bro. That was an Edu signing, straight up. That was like Martinelli, Gabriel, right? We went right after it. Flew to France, went to Lyon, got him 25, 26 mil. It was done. And everybody was happy because he started
Mm,
off a little rough, which all defenders do. I think all players do start off a little rough. Kai Havertz being the exception. But
yeah.
let's I think if we go into that too much, we're really going to start kind of slicing bread the
Yeah.
wrong way. You know what I mean?
Slicing
Because
bread
I think,
and
I think there's more to worry about, like you said, about us scoring goals from open play in regular play time. Because, like we said before, when you start scoring goals in the 4 or 5 minutes left, you're putting pressure not only on Saliba and Gabriel as well, right? I mean, they're
mm,
further up the pitch. At the end, we're trying to trap teams in their half. A loose ball, bing bang bosh, counterattack goal, and that's what happened. But I don't think that goal of yesterday. If Saliba has that in that position that Jorginho's in, we don't lose that game.
yeah,
We
exactly.
don't lose the
See,
game.
Oregon Gunnar, we've come to the end of the show, man. What
Right,
an Arsenal therapy.
good
Me and
times.
Oregon Gunnar have just spent 1 hour 33 minutes as if nothing happened. Yeah,
It
guys.
was like a
Guys,
cruise.
thank you. See, you guys in the chat here, you guys are the true heroes, yeah? Because
Perfect.
you guys made this therapy what it is. And see, yeah, it's very important that people in the chat like you come and support me and Oregon Guna because uh, Arsenal fans need to hear these things. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they need to understand that it's not just it's not just roses and roses and plants
It
and
sure is.
and climate change, yeah, going on at Arsenal
This is
Football Club.
climate change,
Yeah,
yeah.
they need
That's
to,
funny.
they need to, they need to, they need to, they need to hear things like this and ask certain questions and of course, if we do win, if we do have wins, or the club is going in a good direction, of course you have to hail the team. But when it's time for therapy, you guys better be there. You better stand up for your football club because
Right.
you love your football club and you should be that hero. Yeah, if things are not
Yeah,
going
it's
down right, you be the one talking about it. If things are good, you're out the club. That's what we do, and that's
everybody
my
here to me
psychology.
is like you, Tony, and everybody in the chat, bro. It's like I know I don't know a lot of y'all personally and so forth, but this is Arsenal's my second family, bro.
Yeah,
There's no
exactly, man.
if God forbid if my wife was to divorce me tomorrow, Arsenal would still be here.
Ah,
You know,
exactly,
so
exactly.
I
That's how
want,
I think too.
I haven't been to the ground. I'm hoping to go next season. We're getting money together to get tickets and all this stuff and
Yeah,
getting to North
I'm
London.
coming down to see you in England also too.
You yes, you
Whenever you're
are.
coming.
I'm going to hopefully get together with everybody. Big up, Wolf.
Mm.
So that's
Big
still in the
up to
works,
Wolves.
but
Mm.
I but there's always work to be done. Like because and here to there just said it again. Arteta's look at the way he's treated Gabriel the first couple games of the season. Why is he not starting? He has a little injury. Well, really? I mean, come on. It's it's going to turn to excuses FC if it gets worse.
Mm. See, and the
Um,
next matches coming up are gonna be tough matches. Yeah.
Wednesday,
Oh my God, Brentford, Bournemouth, learned in the Champions League.
mm.
City, Rodri-less
And then
City,
Chelsea. We have
and
Chelsea, I
then
think, after City.
bro, brutal games coming up, man. I hope God saves us. See, yeah, Oregon gonna shout your channel out or shout where people could find you, my brother, man.
Well,
My
thanks again,
brother.
Tony, for having me on a great show. Hour and 36 minutes went by like it
Oh my God.
flying by.
Yeah.
We
Mm.
talked a lot of topics today, but I want to give a shout out to everyone in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. Wolfang, a little late, buddy, but that's all good. Hendon, the assembled. Mama Flossie, big up, just jumped in.
Mama Flossie,
Po,
big up
po,
to you, Mama
po.
Flossie. Po po po.
Big 8-0
Mama
win.
Flossie, you know we love you. We love you,
Big
Mama
8-0 win
Flossie.
for them.
Love you.
Newcastle's now one I would put on the radar is like we better watch our ass for because they look like they're anyhow's got them going. That game is going to be the catalyst for them to move forward, I think, in the league for sure.
Mm,
Um,
mm,
yeah, but again, thanks a lot, Tony. Great show. Time flew
mm,
by. We talked a lot of stuff.
mm.
We got to hope for the best for Wednesday and next weekend, but
We have to hope for the
here we
best,
are.
man.
Hope these
We have
injuries
to hope for the
don't
best.
keep
We have
piling
to
up.
hope for
Yeah.
the best.
But I
Yeah,
appreciate you so much. Thank you for having me on
yeah,
the
man.
show. Everybody again in the
Yeah,
chat.
yeah.
We go again Wednesday, I think.
Yep. Up we go. On Tuesday, the henchmen will be coming back. The Southern Gunner is coming back down here with me. We're talking, football, Arsenal tomorrow. So come join us. I would send the timing out for tomorrow. Also, on Wednesday, if we have that matchup against Brentford, me and Wolfang Division will be having a watch along on the day.
Cool.
And also next week, if the henchman is coming back, Wolf might also join us. Wolfang Division might also join us for that henchman the next week, upper week. And me and Wolf will be doing lots of watch alongs coming up, and he has a Chelsea channel too. So guys, go
Mhm.
check out our Wolfang Division. Great guy, and of course his channel
Yeah,
is
bro.
just new, so we're trying to work with him too, and he's trying to work with me too to see that we can feed off each other and help each other. Big up to you,
Mhm.
Mama Flossie, for joining us today. Wolf, big ups. See ya, guys. The chats are popping up too much. I have to leave the show, man. Me and Dal have been here for up to 1 hour 40 minutes. See, from me and the Oregon Gunner, Dal DVS, infamous Dal. Big ups to all of you, man. And we out. We out.
See.